TitleMatchNetwork.com.
You actually wound up going to WCW for a little bit in I think it was '89 when Terry Funk was there and Muda.
Oh yeah,
and all those guys.
Yeah. Dickie Murdoch. We had the double ring battle royals,
Yep.
and the towers, the twin towers were there. God, what were their names?
The Skyscrapers.
Yeah,
Sid Vicious and Danny Spivey.
Hey, I gotta ask a question. Did Sid Vicious go into the towers on 9/11?
No.
Is he alive?
Sid Vicious? Yeah.
He is?
We just did a shoot with him
Hi,
a year
Sid.
ago.
You know, someone told me, Sid, that you went into the towers on 9/11, that you were on one of the planes, and I was like, oh, God, really? Because I haven't seen him in years. I haven't seen him since he snapped his leg on TV.
Yeah.
Of course, I didn't even see him then, but I saw the tape. But anyway, point being is, where'd you go? But yeah, and the Steiners were there, and
Sting. Well, you worked with
was
Sting.
there.
Yeah.
Sting was there. I broke his eardrum. Hi,
Did you?
Sting. You like that, don't you? Oh yeah. I don't know where we did something, and it was just we were working somewhere. I don't even know where, but it was just that little spot where he's got a head scissors, and you put your knee on his legs and you pop your head out, and as a heel, you get your head out, and I'd slap him. Well, one time I slapped him right in his ear. I broke his eardrum. Sorry. So yeah, those guys were all there. Yeah, that was really fun. I worked with Dick Murdoch a lot there, and Dick and I, God, he was fun to work with. He was crazy.
And you worked with Brian Pillman, I think, a bit there too. What do you remember about working with Brian Pillman?
Brian was always very good.
Yeah.
He was. I'm sorry. Sorry, Brian, I know you're gone, but I still always wonder why. What did Flair love about this guy? I mean, he wasn't very big. He said he played football, but I'll be damned if I ever saw him play football. He didn't look big enough to play football, but okay, fine. And he was fine. We had some good matches, Everybody always says, oh, remember the match, and it was in the, you threw him from one ring to the other one, and he got up on the top turnbuckle and dove from one end to the other, and that was the finish. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good. I remember then he broke his ankle. He never recovered.
Right.
Never recovered.
What do you remember of Terry Funk from that time period?
What does anybody ever remember of Terry Funk? Golly. Terry was he's a really good guy. He was always very nice to me. I can remember being out in West Texas. I don't even know what, but we ended up going by his house one night, and he's telling us about his moo cows. He's got his moo cows right outside the windows, and they come up to the window and moo in his house, and then he knows he's home because his moo cows are moo. And it's like, just another crazy story from him. But I always had a lot of fun with him. I learned a lot from him. He'd be wandering around before the matches. What are you doing? Oh, I'm looking for a gimmick. Just something you can take to the ring, to whatever. It might, how he was. You never knew. He'd come walking out and be dragging a trash can with him, and he'd be doing something before the matches with it. All that kind of crazy, goofy crap is useful at different places, and if I ever used it, anybody ever see me using it, I got it from him.
What do you remember, if anything, about a very young Paul Heymon from back then?
No, he was a picture taker. I remember you, Paul. Like I said, I think I have a picture that he took, and he also gave me a book that he made years ago, and it's just a book, looks like he printed it, of pictures of the boys, and he's got little highlight names under it, and we're in it, Hogan's in it, different people. And I just remember, he was always real nice out there. He was friends with Jimmy Garvin, and all of a sudden he's down in Atlanta, with the phone and doing the thing, and I'm going, another guy, got his way in, but yeah, Paul was always good.
Did it get frustrating at all when you were in WCW at that time not to have as big of a push as you were used to having throughout your career?
What time?
During this time period, like when you were wrestling like Pillman and those guys, like you and your brother were usually like the featured team in the area.
Well,
and stuff.
yeah, you know, it is a little bit. You'd like to, you know, be doing, you know, more.
Yeah.
You know, and it wasn't even always about the money. It was more about doing something. You know, what you're doing. You just go to the matches and just go out there and, you know, it didn't matter. You like to always be interested in something, being part of the draw, being someone that the people look like, oh yeah, you know,
Yeah.
you'd be somebody. You're somebody rather than just another also.
Yeah.
You know. So was it frustrating? Oh, I wouldn't call it frustrating. No,
Yeah.
it just wasn't. You know, it wasn't our time there. You know,
Yeah.
which is understandable. You know, and,
How'd you want?
you know, I know that. Well, now I forget his name. That's what happens when you get a lot of chair shots. You start to forget people's names. So people out there, don't be doing the chair shots. What's his name? Bill. God, he was a great worker. I can't think of his name.
A partner with Bill?
No, he married his daughter.
Oh, Bobby Eaton.
Bobby Eaton.
Yeah.
I just remember that Bobby Eaton, you know, married his daughter.
Yeah.
And, you know, that's all. Whatever happened to Bobby Eaton?
I think he
Whatever
says-
happened? Bobby, where are you?
Yeah.
I don't know. You know.
Indies. They do the Midnight
Do they
Express
really?
reunion
Do
show.
Midnight Express still? They're
Yeah.
still out there.
Him and Dennis Conway
Huh?
to do the Indies.
Do they?
Yeah.
Is Hoot still out there?
Who's
Robert Gibson. And,
Oh, yeah. Ricky Morton.
yeah, they're still out there.
They all wrestle each other on the
Do
Indies.
they?
Yeah.
Jeez, tell them. Wow. Hello, guys. Jeez, I had seen you 100 years.
Is it do you find it, I don't know, interesting when you hear about guys that you were working with back then that are still wrestling on the Indies today?
No, it's not that hard to understand. I mean, you know, up until, you know, I'm 53, those guys are probably a little younger than I am. But up until a couple years ago, when I first got back up into Minnesota, I went for a year or so working with Ken Patera. And, you know, it's not surprising, no.
Yeah.
You know, especially if you stay with it. You know, if you're working every weekend or every other day, you're in a ring doing that kind of stuff, you get, you know, it's kind of like football or hockey or baseball, the contact sports. Anyway, as long as you stay getting beat up, it doesn't hurt. It's when you take 3 weeks off, you start to go, oh, God, no, what the heck is that, you know? And then, as, you know, you're not in it, the body, it'll take time to, you know, get immune to getting beat up again. But if they stay in, they're pretty active with it, no, it's not hard to understand at all, you know?
Watch thousands of exclusive shoot interviews right now on TitleMatchNetwork.com.